Hi there, let's talk about how to recover when an interview isn't going well. We've all been there, sitting in an interview, trying to sound confident when all of a sudden things begin to slip. Probably in the middle of an answer, you lose your trail of thought, or along the way, you realize that you actually did not answer quite well to the question that was asked. That is the moment that you begin to feel like, wow, I have messed up. And all you are waiting for is, at what time will this interview come to an end? I'm here to address that a bad moment doesn't really mean a bad interview, or one mistake doesn't automatically mean that you have lost the job. Even the most or the best professionals have been in such moments. The most important thing is, or what really matters is, how do you recover from such bad moments during an interview? Now, it is important to note that interviewers don't really expect perfection during an interview, but then again, they observe or they take notice of how you compose yourself when things don't turn out as you had expected or as you had planned. And that is why, number one, it is important for you to take a breath in order to regain control. Naturally, when things go wrong, your instincts during an interview might be to rush the conversation, or just the temptation to over-explain yourself, or even to shut. I have seen candidates who, the moment they lose trail of their thoughts, they just shut, the brain just shuts, and they get stuck. And they don't know now what next. What should I say next? And all they wish for is for the interview to just come to an end, for them to walk out of the interview session. This is not the moment for you to panic. All you need to do is to take a breath in order for you to regain control. How do you get to regain control? By pausing. It is very important for you to pause in order to avoid over-explaining or rushing the conversation. Being very intentional with strategic pauses will help you to regain or recollect your thoughts or your ideas. And you're not just pausing, but also in between the pauses, you are able to breathe and you're able to ensure that as you continue speaking, your voice is more steady, because you realize that during the interview, that calm recovery of your ability to just take a breath and recover your control or regain your control, that calm recovery is what the employers are looking for. It automatically communicates to the interviewer that you are able to handle pressure. And this is one of the qualities that most potential employers are very keen on during an interview, whenever they're interviewing candidates. So number one, take a breath and regain your control. Number two, how to recover yourself in an interview when it's not going on as planned is you don't need to dwell on the problem. Instead, just move on gracefully. Do not dwell on the mistake, but move on gracefully. Because if you stumble, you don't keep apologizing. This is one of the mistakes that I've seen most candidates do during an interview. The moment they realize that they have lost their trail of thoughts, or the answer they have given to the question is not really addressing what was expected from that question, they tend to keep apologizing or explaining themselves. All you need to do is acknowledge it in a more lightly manner if needed, and then you continue confidently. So as an interview coach or even as a recruiter, I will confidently tell you that one of the things that makes interviewers remember a candidate is not how the candidate really stumbled, but how the candidate was able to quickly recover from the stumbling and continue like nothing really happened. And that is professionalism and not perfection at work. And that is one of the things that interviewers or potential employers are really keen on. It's not about you stumbling or you losing your trail of thought, but it's about your ability to really recover very quickly and continue as if nothing has happened. So don't dwell on the mistake, but move on gracefully. Number three, in order for you to be able to recover when an interview is really not going on well, is to refocus your energy. Most of the time when we have really had a rough moment, it is very easy for us to spiral kind of that energy into overthinking. Overthinking really does not help during this moment. Instead, it worsens the situation. Always remember as a candidate that every answer that follows is a chance for you to show your value to your potential employer during the interview. And that is why it is important not to dwell on the mistake. It will make you to overthink. Instead, all you need to do is to refocus your energy. Think about the next question and ensure that you give it your best shot, because that is the only chance you have at that particular moment to showcase your value to your potential employer. So do not put all your energy on what you have already missed out. Instead, refocus it into the next question that is coming and answer that question as though it is the only remaining determinant for you being seen as the best fit for that role. Then lastly, when you realize that the interview is not going on well as you had intended and you need to recover yourself, always make sure as a candidate that you end strong. No matter how the middle of the interview has been, no matter how the previous questions, your response to the previous questions or the experience has been, always make sure that you end well. Always make sure that you finish with confidence. End by summarizing your strengths, and not just summarizing your strengths, but also expressing your genuine enthusiasm for the role that you are being interviewed for. Always remember that a strong ending or a strong close will completely change how an interviewer remembers you as a candidate. And that is why it is important to put in the effort to make sure that you give it a strong ending. Forget about how the middle part of the interview has been, what you might have missed out on, or what you might have left out. Instead, give it a strong ending. Always finish strong. Summarize your strengths, express your genuine enthusiasm for the role, and give it a long-lasting impression, because that can completely change how the interviewer sees you as a best fit for the role. So the bottom line is, mistakes do happen even for experienced professionals during an interview, but we should not focus on the mistake. Instead, we should refocus our energy to give it the best shot in the next question that is being asked. And the beauty is that interview preparation or interview coaching is one of the services that we do offer here at Corporate Staffing Services. With the help of an interview coach, you are able to assess how you respond to interview questions, your ability to capture the mind of the interviewer as you prepare for any upcoming interview that you have in future. The link below will guide you on how to reach out to us, and we'll be glad to just schedule a session specifically tailored to your role or for any upcoming interviews that you have. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next one.